All right. Hello, 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 and welcome. It is Larissa here, and I want to welcome you to my Lunch and Learn, where each and every week I explore topics to help you elevate your mindset, and be at your best, and radically expand your life and business. And today I am talking about the emotional cleanup. I'm here to let you know what an emotional cleanup is, why you need it, and why you really can't live without it. So, if you're successful in your outer world and other people see you as successful, but deep down in your heart, you feel like there's just something missing and you're holding yourself back. Maybe things generally go well for you, but lately something's been off and you're more stressed, you're overwhelmed, and you feel overworked. Maybe the pandemic is still impacting you, and it's like you see other people getting back to real life, but you are having some challenges. You're feeling really stuck and out of sorts. So if things are just not working in your world, people around you are getting sick, you're getting sick, people are getting injured, and you just don't have any breathing room, yet you want some. You want a reset, you want to hit that reset button. You're in the right place, and I want you to listen up because today is really about for you. That's what the emotional cleanup is all about. And I know some of you know me and some of you don't. So I would love to just quickly introduce myself. I'm Larissa McCouch, CEO and Master Results Coach, CEO of Abundance Academy. And here at my company, we help high achieving women uncover their deepest desires and stop playing it predictably safe so that they can experience a rich and fulfilling life that they truly want, that they love, that is on purpose, and where they can actually go after their dreams. So I'd love to know where you're coming in from. Tell me where you're coming in from. And if you're tuning in by replay, then type in replay in the chat. If it is your first time here, type in first time in the chat. And I do thank you for being here, and I appreciate your presence. So I'd love to just paint a bit of a picture for you. I used to attend a lot of seminars, and back in the day, first attended one of the Tony Robbins events. I think it was an Unleash the Power Within. I heard his videos or heard his audios. I read his books. I studied Tony Robbins. However, I went to a live event, and there were thousands of people there. I think there were about 7,000 or 8,000 people at this event, and it was absolute magic. And I saw Tony work his magic with other people. And when I saw this, my jaw literally dropped to the floor. I was just like, oh my goodness. Like I was amazed at what he was able to do. And I could see people making massive internal transformations right before my eyes. And I thought, I'm like, this would be so cool to know how to do that. But at the time, I never thought that I'd learn how to do that too. And I never even considered that for myself. Like, well, that would be really cool, but it didn't even occur to me that I'd learn how to do that. Well, one thing, and I actually did get designated programming, timeline therapy, and hypnotherapy in a slightly different, less theatrical way. I actually learned how to do what Tony Robbins did and how to help people make really fast and permanent changes in their lives and essentially have a breakthrough. So I worked with clients who have, over the years, who have resented themselves and were really cruel to themselves for decades. And with a passion or two to love themselves, be able to look, be able to smile at people, and just have that spark of joy back in their life. I've had clients who were all things to everyone. They were letting people walk all over them. They were doing everything for everyone else because they thought they had to, and they wanted to be good mothers, good wives, good workers. And they felt like puppets. They started to resent themselves. They started to resent those in their lives, even though they just doing things that didn't match the input. And so these frustrating, repetitive patterns, they started to stop, and they started to love themselves and be there so they're fully present in their life. So they started taking care of themselves. So they started thriving in their life. And amazingly, when they started doing these basic things and embracing themselves in a whole new light, things like their business started to turn around. Okay? How you do is how you do anything, how you truly do everything. And I even had a client who had more than 128 traumas prior to 2 years age. And she held on to those for over 50 years while encountering one destructive relationship after another. And she was able to let go of this negative hold these traumas had on her in less than 30 minutes so that she could free herself, so she could free her energy to truly live her mission and attract healthy relationships. Life. It was so beautiful. And these are things I get to observe each and every day. And I talk to a lot of people in trouble with consistency taking action, or that are struggling in business, that are confused by which direction to take, wondering why things aren't working. Some get really angry and have outbursts, and they're like, I don't know why I did this. I'm not proud of how I treated myself or other people. Others are going to therapy for years and not seeing results. Yet the things that I've been able to shift very, very quickly with this type of work when it comes to the emotional process. Okay. So why am I sharing this with you? Because no matter how good life is, there will always be ups and downs. It's called life. We have an ebb and flow, right? You go up, you go down, you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down. And it's not up to us to ignore this and downs or dwell on. What is up to us is to acknowledge where needs arise in our lives and best way. You don't need, if you are dehydrated, let's say, right? If you're so dehydrated and you don't drink, then you will start to enter a different state of physical, of physiology. Start to think less, lips dry out. You might get more tired. You might get a headache. Most people are chronically dehydrated, have a need to quench their thirst, and they don't drink water. It's simple. Our emotions work the same way. However, it's up to us to meet these needs, and sometimes we're just not trained to recognize them. Now, the fact is, emotions do fly high. And when they do, they can take over your life. Heights of overwhelm, they might lead to paralysis of analysis, and it feels and it's like it's a lot of work. And you do have to put more out there just to get the bare from it. And it's like taking your car for a periodic maintenance. Like you wouldn't just drive your car until it dies. Every few months, you get the oil changed. You do a little tune up here and there, and your emotions work the same way. They do need regular attention to keep them in check so you can be at your best every day and in every way. And when I want you to ask yourself, would you like to keep your emotions clean, up in really resourceful state, in a state where you could have that be your new normal? What if you turn down the dial of constant negative news and replace it with news each and every day? Something you're happy to listen to. And can you imagine how incredibly transformative it would be if those are actually in your clear path for your success? So it's just right there and you see it no matter what. That's what today is all about. Emotions have so much massive hold on you, so much massive hold in your life and current you get. And when it comes to an emotion, what's an emotion? An emotion is a natural instinctive state of mind that derives from one's circuits, from your mood, your relationships. What does it mean to clean up? To clean up means to restore to something. And essentially, cleanup, which is what we do here, is a process where you restore natural state of being, your natural state of being, regardless of the circumstances and relationships that might be surrounding you in your world. Okay, life will continue to happen. How are you showing? Are you showing up in your most natural, organic, and authentic state of being? And it's also a process that uses elite tools to make some of the fastest because of how they're used and how they work with the mind. So are four main modalities that I work with, and I sprinkle in other aspects, but there are four main parts that I use to get these incredible results. And those are neurolinguistic therapy and NLP results coaching. And I blend them together into a very cool process that these changes happen fast. This entire process is based on the work of Dr. Tad James. He was an NLP trainer and hypnotist trainer and a master and a pioneer of these industries. And he recently did pass away. But when we combine them, we are able to get really great. What is NLP? It was modality developed by Richard Bandler and John Grinder in the 1960s, and it became widespread in the 70s. It's the and modern excellence. It's done through speaking directly to the brain using really specific language patterns so that you can create changes to your internal wiring and programming quickly. So it's like you have this wiring, almost like a blueprint in your house. So you have a mental blueprint for how you have a mental to make decisions for how you earn your money, how much money you actually earn. You have a blueprint how when things go wrong. You have a mental blueprint for how you wake up and how you run your day. You have a mental thing. So we work with shifting these blueprints that are not serving you. And when you change the blueprint, you can change the entire landscape very quickly. Therapy is a process created by Dr. Tad James, and it is literally the fastest way to do the emotional clearing. And what's really unique about this technique is you don't need to relive any negative experiences to learn things from our past, but we don't have to relive them and go there. And that's what makes it really powerful. And even worldwide to clear symptoms of phobias and PTSD. And that is huge. Even if you that feeling weird, whether you're feeling pressured or overwhelmed or very emotional, this is a phenomenal technique because within an hour or two, everything is just different. And you're like, what really bothered me and got me to react yesterday isn't doing that. And I've never seen anything like it. And it's a brilliant emotional closet clean out. Hypnotherapy is modality around hundreds of thousands of years. And it basically is where you are guided into a state of trance and you speak directly to the unconscious mind. So you have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. And this basically, this idea of hypnotherapy, it removes the barrier between the two. And it's like if you've ever picked up a phone and been on your phone and just been like scrolling and go, oh, where did the time go? You're in a trance. If you've watched a show on the episode, that's a state of trance. So it's similar to that. However, contrary to popular belief, like a chicken, anything under a normal waking state, perhaps with an alcoholic beverage or two. Okay, so sometimes we'll like an alcoholic beverage wouldn't do under a normal waking state, then you wouldn't do something under hypnotherapy. So one is I was in training and not stage subject, but we had to do stage shows just to do the training. And so I was in a stage show and someone said, get on the stage. I'm like, I don't like going upside down, even if it's just a small one. Don't like them. Not my thing. So I refused that roller coaster. Whereas everyone's like, having fun. And I'm like, no, thanks. I stuck to my guns. And I was able to do that under that state of trance. So it's really important that you are in control. However, you allow yourself to receive, you get into such a deep state of relaxation that you allow yourself to receive all these beautiful that you hear, that sometimes there's a little bit, there's a barrier preventing you receiving. NLP results coaching is based on coaching models that are used to help build neurology through specific exercises. We just bring the brain, the body to memorize these new ways, to really integrate them in our body. And really one of the final parts for change so that it sticks. It's got to be in every cell of the body. You can't just say, yeah, I'm going to decide and I'm going to do it and not doing, right? There's a mental part of change that happens, and there's actually there's a physiological part. There are components. So why is this stuff so powerful? What do you need to know about this process? The emotional, this works with the conscious and the unconscious mind. And your conscious question, and it gets in the way. It doesn't really fully understand problems, and the problem is it tries to. Whereas your conscious mind actually that you've seen, heard, and experienced in your life. You ingest 12 million bits of information and process 128 bits per second. And that's a big, big difference. And so there's a lot of information that's deleted, that's changed, that's generalized, so you can consciously understand what is actually going on. And when you work with the conscious mind, that's actually responsible for 90% of your results. This is where your emotions live, in the unconscious, and they have so much power over you. Only responsible for about 5% of the results you get. So powerful stuff. This stuff works with the unconscious directly so that you can get fast change and cover the biggest part with the least amount of time. And the next thing, this is so you get something called the root cause. So you can say you can like line heads off the ground. You actually want to get the dandelion off your lawn, you must pluck the root out, or the dandelion will continue to grow. So when root causes are the same, there's the reason that everything happens, and the reason itself is less important. However, learning, you need to learn in that things, and once we help you uncover the very original reason these things happened, is they're already. Okay, so we keep repeating our same patterns until we learn our lessons. If we choose to learn our lessons, the human keep presenting these things to us over and over and over again. So, like I said, a series of destructive relationships. If you feel like I keep the same person over and over and over again, well, it's because there is a reason for that, and you're running the same strategy, running the same blueprint, and until you change the blueprint, you're not going to change that pattern. Even if you pretend to find a different relationship, some you're or you keep finding the same types of jobs. It's just like a slightly better version of what you had before. Try work, or maybe you've tried one business, tried another, but you keep doing and making mistakes. So for a repetitive aspect, that means you haven't changed your wiring. You're just doing it maybe with a different outfit on, in a different day, another. So to cause, so you can actually change the cause of this problem instead of it's not actually what led to the original problem. So there are essentially three things to lasting, three that are required to make permanent change. And that is, first and foremost, you need to clear any you have. So clear any limiting decisions you've made, any emotional blockages, any time part of you that wants this, part of you wants that. We need to clear these emotional things. They're almost like emotional skeletons in the closet. And when they're cleared, that it's almost like tilling the it cultivates the soil so that you can plant something beautiful. And that's something that we do in I help you clear the emotions and clear this negative stuff that's happening so that you are free to move on. Just clear it. If you don't clear it, you can keep trying to do different things, but you're going to keep coming right where you were. Got to clear it. Step 2, take action. There are going to be certain things that you must take action on. And we help you uncover that based on the conversations that we have. And you do the doing to train the neurology. And if it's not in every cell of your body, if you're not taking the action that's required, only dream so far into your desires without actually taking a step forward, right? If you want to win the lottery, you actually have to get up and go buy a lottery ticket. If you want a house, you actually have to put an offer in on a house. Maybe you need to see it, maybe you don't, but you got to put an offer in or you don't get the house. If you want a car, you've got to buy the car. Whatever it is that you want, you must take some action towards it. And we help you come up with actions that are directly related to what you do most. Then focus on what you want. You've got to pay attention to what you want, not what you don't want. And the fact is, what on expands. And so it's really important to keep your eye on the prize because your unconscious mind can't tell the difference between what's and what's imagined. If you just try to focus on what you want, it's not going to work. You have to actually focus on it. And it's very cool that most people spend 95% of their days focusing on what they don't want, and then they repeat most of it the day. So we teach you to flip that around. Okay. So in the emotional cleanup, we release negative emotions of anger, guilt, shame, conflicts. We do all of these things at the unconscious level so you can do what you need to do and you are free to focus on what you want. All compelling future for you and allowing yourself to show up at your best for yourself, for your business, for your family. Truly feel freedom from the inside out to lighten the load that you're carrying around. Sometimes when brick so heavy, and the more bricks you keep adding, it just gets heavier and heavier, exhausting. And sometimes this don't know what to do or don't even know where to start. It's like you're in this complete state of overwhelm and you're out of control. It is change. Know that this is a temporary state and change is absolutely possible. Now, this particular process is done one-on-one. It's highly specific. It is highly specialized person, and we have a how we want to make sure that this is appropriate for you. So within the emotional on on in your life. If you feel like you have a lot more deep stuff going on and you that's bigger than just I'm not feeling so great and I need more motivation, then we could look at even process. Just dive deep into really working together to create the future that you do want. So emotionally is a like change. The full breakthrough is like the next step. It's like the next level. It takes deeper and help you overcome some even bigger obstacles or challenges that have been there forever and ever. And I've seen people work absolute magic process they start with. You've got to want it. If you want complete have life and business, you want to clear those emotions so that you are free to live the life that you deserve. Again, there is the 3 steps to permanent change are you've got to do something about it and to focus on what you want. And if this is something that has piqued your interest, I know today we're talking about this a lot many other days. Because so often we ignore our emotions or we just it's too busy. I'll take when I get more time, when I free my resources, when I have circumstances perfect. Thing is, circumstances have idea improved recently. This is what you need so that you can get yourself unstuck. I've just recently one that's been completely overwhelmed. She still has a lot going on in her life. However, we've created breathing room so she can finish the big things in her life with elegance, with grace, and in a way she's actually looking forward. She's being so more completely empowered. So that is what I would love to do for you if that's what you're interested. And so if you this love to have a conversation. It is absolutely by application only. It is not for everyone. You definitely have to be committed to yourself and make. If you are in a group program, I think this is an amazing compliment because it is so highly customized. It works with other group programs. It works with so many other things that you're doing in your life. I know listening to this, seek someone likes to move forward and likes to learn about themselves and improve on this. So if you this enhance anything and everything that you are doing. And ultimately, this is you life of your dreams. So if the emotional cleanup is something of interest, anywhere one want to do breakthrough, that can take anywhere from 2 to 6 months, just depending on what is going on. This is all about making beautiful changes really, really fast. Your next step would be to reach out to me and let's book a consultation and just you. And I am happy to give you feedback as to whether this process would be a good fit or if there is something else that you would need. I have been around the block 500 on solutions, looking for different solutions to many problems that I've had in my life, my clients and that have had in their lives. So I am very, very resourceful and I am absolutely happy to help. So on that, signing, I hope you have a beautiful and spectacular day and reach out to me. If anything has something to get me unstuck. I don't want to be where I am. I want you to reach out and let's have a quick conversation so you can be free to step forward and move forward in your life. So the way to do that is a direct message, and I will pop a link in the chat as well. Bye for now.